Noch eine Nacht in Deutschland. Today we have tonight, I guess, we have a peated rye whiskey. I don't think I've ever seen a peated rye, so I'm quite curious. So this comes in at 46% alcohol, and it is in fact a 700 milliliter, not uncommon for Europe. Non-chill filtered. I do see there's some little floaties in here, so we definitely know it was not necessarily super filtered. So in terms of how it became peated, they don't necessarily say on the bottle. However, it does mention a German rye whiskey matured in first fill oak barrels that held heavily peated whiskey before. Spoiler alert, heavily is the operative term. So at first glance, you can tell it's really quite dark in color, and on the nose, I do feel like it aged in sherry casks. It didn't say it did, it just has that darkness, and you smell that like raisiny umami, but it didn't. So I was very intrigued at first. But honestly, the smoke is stealing the show. This really smells very heavily peated. So I will say, my very first sip of this I ever had, I didn't quite know what to make of it. It just seemed really strange to me, like heavy peat, but there's not a whole lot else. Then it kind of rolls into this like medicinally quality. There's still that kind of hint of like raisiny, which is just confusing to me considering it wasn't specified to have been aged or finished in sherry. It's really very simple, and the simplicity of it is kind of what makes it beautiful. So it did take a couple of sips to really warm up to it, and I did discover with like just a hint of water, it really opens up a lot more. You get some more complexity and flavors from it. I don't know that I would necessarily go full in with ice for this. It really didn't need a whole lot of water. I did keep a glass and I would have a sip of the water, a sip of the whiskey, and this really did grow on me. Obviously, a German rye is going to be using a different variety of the grain than they would have here in either, well, the United States where I am or up in Canada. So I feel like you lose a lot of that rye spice that you kind of expect to the peaty quality of this. But if you do add the touch of water, I feel like some more of those rye notes really do come out and start to shine. I would love to know what other German whiskeys or other rye whiskeys you think I should try next. Please leave a comment and let me know.